Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive into A Course in Miracles.
It's great to be back.
So today we're looking at Lesson 42,
Okay.
which is titled, God is my source, I cannot see apart from him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that title really is something to think about.
Right.
But before we jump into that, can you remind us a little bit about what we talked about yesterday with Lesson 41?
Sure. So lesson 41 was all about choosing kindness over judgment.
Right.
So it was about, instead of reacting to situations or people with anger or frustration,
Yeah.
to try to pause, take a step back, and try to see things from a more compassionate perspective.
Yeah, I remember it was all about looking past those sort of gut reactions that we have.
Exactly.
And really, taking a moment to try to see the light in every situation.
Yeah, and remembering that everyone is on their own journey and we don't always know what they're going through.
Right, exactly.
So offering kindness and understanding rather than judgment is really the key.
And so how does Lesson 42 build on that idea?
Well, I think it takes it a step further by saying that our ability to see clearly, our ability to understand and experience the world
Yeah.
actually comes from God.
So it's not just about choosing kindness, it's about understanding where that kindness comes from.
Right. It's about recognizing that there's a higher power that shapes our perception.
God is my source. I cannot see apart from him.
That's the idea.
Right.
The lesson is really driving home.
That's a powerful statement.
It is.
And I think for someone who's not familiar with A Course in Miracles,
Yeah.
it could be kind of hard to wrap your head around. So
Yeah.
what does it actually mean?
Well, it suggests that our perception, our true perception, is filtered through God, so to speak.
Okay.
It's like imagine you're looking through a pair of glasses,
Okay.
and those glasses represent God. Everything you see is filtered through that lens.
So you're saying that without that divine perspective, our own vision is limited.
Exactly. It can be distorted by our ego, by our sense of separation from God.
Okay, so recognizing God as our source is about more than just a belief system.
Right.
It's about fundamentally changing how we see the world.
Yeah, and the Course really emphasizes how important this is because it helps us break free from that illusion of separation.
Great.
It allows us to tap into a deeper level of peace and security.
So it's like recognizing our connection to something much larger than ourselves.
Exactly. And that connection brings a sense of belonging and purpose.
You know, it's funny you should say that because I was actually struggling with a work project this week.
Oh, yeah.
And I was feeling so overwhelmed and lost.
I've been there.
And I kept repeating to myself that affirmation from the lesson.
God is my source.
Yeah, and honestly, it really calmed me down.
That's amazing.
It was like remembering that I had backup,
Yeah, I think that's a perfect example of how these affirmations can work.
Yeah.
Because by consciously repeating those words, you're essentially rewiring your thinking patterns.
Right.
You're reminding yourself that you're not alone, even in the midst of challenges.
Absolutely. And it's not about blind faith. It's about actively shifting your perspective.
Exactly. And the Course also suggests other practices like a mindfulness exercise where you visualize connecting with divine light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So imagine you close your eyes, take a deep breath, and you picture this radiant light flowing into you, filling you with clarity and peace.
I could almost feel it just thinking about it.
Right. It's about tapping into a source of guidance and inspiration.
That's really powerful.
It is. And that guidance can also come through reflection.
Okay.
Have you ever looked back on a challenging situation
Yeah.
and thought, wow, I really feel like something was looking out for me back then?
Oh, all the time.
Right. That's the kind of reflection the Course encourages through journaling.
So it's about connecting the dots and recognizing those moments where we were supported even when we didn't realize it at the time.
Yes. And by reflecting on those experiences, we begin to see a pattern of divine guidance in our lives.
Okay, so it's about recognizing that even in the tough times,
Yeah.
there's a higher power working things out for us.
Right. And that can be incredibly reassuring, especially when we're facing new challenges.
So if you had to sum up the most important thing to remember from Lesson 42, what would it be?
I think it's this, that recognizing God as our source changes not only how we perceive challenges, but also how we experience the world around us.
So it's about seeing everything, even the mundane,
Yes.
through that lens of divine connection.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for another insightful deep dive.
My pleasure.
Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow for another lesson.
See you then. Bye.